very first thing I want to dive right into it. People don't want to be around Kevin Spacey all the time. And of course, it's been like 6 years that this went down. And I'm like, he had, when the Me Too started, he was one of the very first ones people went after. Of course, all the talks about being on set. They're talking about how he had to pay $31 million to Netflix for House of Cards because a lot of the crew members felt they were sexually, attacked by him. So he already paid that off. He got off, though. He's been acquitted. And now the ramifications are like, does he have a career still? Will that change his whole life? Or will he be able to go back to 2017 Kevin Spacey? I don't really think he will. I think that people look at this a certain way and they say, okay, you may be acquitted, but this is different than Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp it's a domestic thing. People keep saying it's like Johnny Depp. It was a domestic thing. This is like a lot of people coming forward being like, hey man, I was uncomfortable around you. So I don't think you can go back into a work environment that easily. Of course, people will probably hire him, but I don't know. I want to be around the group because I want to know what people are thinking about this because it's a very interesting thing because he is acquitted. So they not do this only in these cases. There's still a lot of people that said that he has. So Rachel, what do you think? Do you think that Kevin Spacey can have a career again, go back to the old person, or do you think there are going to be a lot of ramifications for everything that's been coming out in the media since 2017?
I mean, acquitted doesn't really mean much in the court of public opinion. Like OJ was acquitted.
Yeah, people are still like,
nobody's gonna hire OJ for anything. Like, the dude clearly killed his wife. So Kevin Spacey clearly molested a bunch of boys. So
yep.
Yeah.
But do you think people are gonna hire him? Because there's like a producer that said, Rachel, like that. Oh yeah, he says there's.
Lining up, probably not. Is there one or two? Sure. Like, people hired Roman Polanski still, and Woody Allen. So like, obviously you can get away with doing some shit as a white dude and still maintain your career. So sure he might get job offers. Do I think they're going to be quality and for quality projects? Probably not. But if he's like, oh, I'm getting offers, that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Really.
Yeah, but he's really into it right now. He's like, oh yeah, all these big offers are coming my way, and I'm ready to rock and roll and get back to work.
Of course. If he wants to convince people he's still worth hiring, I would be out there too. Like, oh yeah, everyone should hire. I'm in high demand.
I'm a hot commodity.
Hot commodity. He's everywhere. I think that, and there was one producer saying too that about the whole situation being like, this happened. I think the exact words were pretty much like, but one former chief said this, a studio chief, that not going to prison doesn't qualify as an indicator of someone's exciting career prospects. So that says a lot of stuff. I want to show you quickly before Sabrina gets in there. This is what Kevin Spacey actually said after he was acquitted.
I'm enormously grateful to the jury for having taken the time to examine all of the evidence and all of the facts carefully before they reach their decision. And I am humbled.
Humbled by getting away with it.
He's humbled by it, yeah. Sabrina, what do you think? You think Kevin Spacey's back on the rise? His star's back in the Hollywood Walk of Fame and everyone's going to be shining up real nice?
First of all, before I get to this jackass, the comments, because we restarted, are not coming up on our feed anymore here. So I'm trying to go back to YouTube and check them like here and there. Lexi said that she thinks that he did it. Chris said Kevin Spacey should take a seat. Jacob said Canon will hire Spacey for their new edgy film about child trafficking. Oh my God. So those are, I'm sorry, I don't have it on my screen, so I'm going to try to verbally say them when they come up, if I can. I just want to let you guys know that. And secondly, this guy, I think I said the last time we talked about him, there's upwards of 40 people that said that he either grabbed them or touched them or forced them to do things, or Anthony Rapp woke up with him on top of him. I mean, there's no way that and they're all one person was a reporter, one person was a bartender, one person was a masseuse, one person was Anthony Rapp. Then the Richard Dreyfuss's son at a table read for a play. He reached under the table and grabbed his balls. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, he is a phenomenal actor. He was my favorite actor of all time, hands down, until all this shit went down. And I still think he's a phenomenal actor, not a phenomenal fucking human being. And I think there is no way on God's green earth that he didn't commit a good amount of those things that people are accusing him. I'm sure there's a couple people that jumped on the bandwagon, of course.
Yes.
But I'm sure that, but there was like, I mentioned this also, that the theater company that he was a part of, there were like 20 people within that theater company. 20 people that had a complaint against him. He had to pay $31 million. It's not a one-off thing, and there's no. I mean, the problem is with the trial, and I believe I said this again with Anthony Rapp. Like, what kind of evidence can you produce for something that has happened such a long time ago? Like, it's hard to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that this absolutely happened, and like a jury is given instructions to do that specifically based on what evidence is given to you in court. And so, doing their civic duty, I cannot say beyond a reasonable doubt or beyond a shadow of a doubt or whatever the fuck it is that he did this with the evidence that I am given today in court from something that happened a long, long time ago. So like, it's kind of like, and that's what fucking sucks about all of any sexual abuse trials. Like, that's why fucking rapists go free all the fucking time. You know, if you didn't go to the cops and get a rape kit, it's basically like, that guy raped me. And they're like, well, what proof do you have? And I'm like, the proof is that he raped me.
There's
like,
a backlog of like 7 to 10 years on a lot of rape kits.
Yeah.
Because there's
it's so hard to prove something like that already. Now, when you take something that is so long ago, like, it's even harder, you know, like with that Anthony Rapp thing, he was 14. That was so long ago. How the fuck are you going to prove that in court?
It's a long time.
You know, it's just, so I you know, the odds were in his favor. You know, it sucks, you know, that people, you know, I mean, I hope that at least through all of this, that he fucking learned a lesson and won't do that anymore. That's my biggest hope, because if you're going to...
he learned he can get away from it, or get away with it.
Well...
Yeah.
But
that's the whole thing he did. I mean, you know...
Hopefully enough of his power has been reduced that people feel more comfortable coming forward. Because, put yourself in a lot of those people's positions. Like, that is a powerful Hollywood person. Like, it's really hard to report against people who could ruin your career. That's why Weinstein got away with it for so fucking long.
Yeah.
For years, you know, and it was like, what are you doing? And the thing is, too, that was the thing people have talked about in Hollywood, too, about Kevin Spacey. There's been rumors going around, like, what it's like to be working on set with him. And then, of course, these things with, you know, Netflix comes out, the lawsuits and all that. It's just like, yeah, it's a lot. And I don't think he's going to have the blockbuster career he thought he was going to have again right after this. I just don't think so. And I think also he's going to do independent films, which he's been doing already. He's done a few. And I think you'll get more of that, especially with everything that's happening now. All these independent films are being, like, you know, pushed to the forefront because AMPTP will not sign any kind of contract with the SAG-AFTRA or with the Writers Guild of America. And that's just where it's going. It's going independent. And because it's going independent.
Kevin Spacey and Amber Heard and Woody Allen can all get together and make a fucking movie that no one wants to watch.
Yes, they can.
Roman Polanski.
He can direct.
Is he still alive?
I have to, Roman Polanski, I don't think so. He's like 700, like 18 years ago. Jacob corrected me. I said canon because he didn't make two separate words. It was QAnon. So sorry about that. And of course, I'm going to read this comment. Lexi agrees with me. Yes. And Chris said that the problem is Kevin Spacey. So sorry. I'm trying to do like some light comment reading segments here. I apologize.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's he's just doing independent stuff. Maybe a big time producer like Rachel said will hire him, one or two eventually, and test the waters.
Oh, for sure they will. He's a phenomenal actor. Yeah. Like, someone will like pride themselves on like being the first and like giving him a role. You know what I mean? Like, it's so fucked up and stupid. Like, I first of all, he's Kevin Spacey, right? So he's made shit tons of movies. He has shit tons of money. He doesn't need to be gracing the screen anymore. Like, we don't need to see him. And like, people don't. But the thing is like, no publicity is bad publicity. Kim Kardashian taught everybody in the world that. Okay. So he is in the news now. There is someone, because he is a phenomenal fucking actor, someone will absolutely be like, okay, great, I have a project. I bet he was reading fucking scripts as we speak, unfortunately.
100%.
So it's gonna happen. Like I said before, I'm Rachel, you're probably right, but I really hope that maybe now that he's like out and it's, you know, not taboo as he saw it. I don't know. Maybe he'll just be in a fucking relationship with somebody and not like grab people inappropriately. I hope that maybe that can be a way forward for him, because he's not going to be fucking behind bars, or there's not going to be any fucking penalty. Like, if he could at least, because that's the effect, right? You put someone in jail because you don't want them to do that thing again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, a murderer, you don't want to let on the street because he's going to murder another person, right? So, like, hopefully this lesson with these two cases, even though he did get away with it, it was a lot. He lost his career for a long time. Yeah. You know, maybe that's enough for him to be like, well, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. And I will have, like, you know, I'll go on a Grinder and find someone to grab their nutsack with willingly. Okay. Maybe he can do that. I don't know. That's where I'm going with that.
I just hope, yeah, like, if anything, you know, if he knows now at this point that he has been inappropriate in work environments and around the world, maybe learn something from, like Sabrina's saying, and maybe he'll be a better person because of it. And, you know, overall, he's Kevin Spacey. Somebody will hire him, and I guess he'll be reported before you know it.
And it's so frustrating because he will get work again. Because he's a white dude. Like, how long did Winona Ryder lose her career over a little bit of shoplifting?
A long time.
Yeah. Long time, yeah.
Yeah, well, Winona Ryder was excellent. Peak of her career, she shoplifted
over a little bit of shoplifting.
It's a little. No one got hurt. It's shoplifting. Who the fuck cares? But
she finally made a comeback.
Out here molesting a bunch of people, and he's gonna get his job back like 2 seconds.
Hard molestation. And one girl said that he raped her. Like, there was a girl that said that he raped her.
Well, that's the thing. You're gonna have people all over the place, something like that. You know, I think he was saying before when he came out that he was, you know, it's just he couldn't, you know, he's a sexual person. So, and that's always something that they'll say. But, you know,
that doesn't mean you get to touch people when they don't ask for it.
You're a huge movie star. You can find somebody to fuck you, dude.
All of the people. Not the people that you just grab their dick when no one's asking for it. Like, you can't just, like, even...
Don't grab them by the pole.
Period. Like, even someone that I am actively having sex with, if they just, like, walk over to me and put their hand on my vagina, I would be like, excuse you, sir, please step the fuck back. Or not right now. Like, what?
Vagina grabbing.
Don't do that. Like, you don't just, I mean, you know, I don't know. It's just like when someone does not, like, and I'm not talking about that situation, but like, if someone does not want something, like, what gives you the right to, like, decide that, like, oh, and even if, like the guy, like I said, the table read, Richard Dreyfuss' son, they were at a fucking table read, reading a script, and he reached under the table. What the actual fuck, dude? Like, it's not like they were having a conversation, that there could have been a misjudged smile or a smirk or maybe he touched my arm. Oh, I thought that was a sexual touch of the arm. Like, there's no way that there was any signals being crossed. You're at a fucking table read, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Well, that's what these creeps get off on. They get off on, you know, asserting their power over people. A lot of the times, rape and molestation is about the power. It's about a power move, not about the actual sex. It's the lack of consent is what they like.
Yeah.
But it's also like, but again, yeah, there's that aspect, but there's also the job aspect too. It's like, there's no place for this on set. The days are too long. People are sacrificing so much. You don't want to go to work and feel uncomfortable on top of that. That's a big thing. And that's why I would hope a lot of employers will think about that before hiring. Again, he's a fucking great actor, so I understand if they're going to hire him, but it's a slippery slope, and he might fall right back into it like he did before, or he might not. I hope not. And I hope that, you know, whatever comes from this,
excuse me,
only time will tell, and I hope that everybody will be okay.